Hey there, everyone. So I wanted to give you an update on the tax refund processing times for this year's tax filing season. So some good news, some bad news. Right, the good news is the IRS is processing returns. We're seeing refund checks being cut. People are getting their direct deposits. So very, very good news. But obviously, like every other tax year, there's a lot of bad stuff too. So a lot of taxpayers are kind of falling between the cracks, and they're seeing delays in processing the returns. They're getting returns that are showing as accepted, but when they check the transcript, if there's nothing in there. And of course, the phone lines are all jammed up, right? You can try calling, but it'll ring and you won't get a hold of a live person. They don't even bother putting you on hold anymore. So very frustrating. But if you are filing, absolutely file electronically. Please do not paper file your returns if you can avoid it. It just makes the delay in your refund that much longer. So the refund schedule, as it has always been, it's still based on when you file the return and when you can see that it's accepted. So if you're filing this week and you get this thing out before the end of the week, Feb 22 to 28, you can expect to get your direct deposit about a week later, around March 7th, right? So that's the target. Now, if you had a refund or you were filing a tax return that had the earned income tax credit or that additional child tax credit, you were seeing delays until March because of the PATH Act. But now that that's coming undone, if you can get this thing out before February 26th, they claim that by the end of next week, you should be able to get your tax refund. So if you are filing a return and everything is good and ready to go, try to get it out before the 26th, get it accepted, and that can expedite your refund. Now let's talk about e-file rejection. So always a problem. Anytime your return is rejected for whatever reason, it obviously slows things down. Some of the common ones we're seeing this year, and of course these are issues that if you get an e-file rejection, you can very easily just fix it, right? You'll get a diagnostic that'll show you why it was kicked back to you. Try to fix the problem and then refile. And again, this is the appeal with e-filing rather than paper filing. If you paper file, it could be a year before you get a response from the IRS. So e-file always, and then if there are these problems, then you'll see them, fix them. The first one we're seeing a lot of is these 1095As. So the 1095A is that health insurance marketplace statement. If you received any advanced premium credit for the year to help lower your insurance premium each month, you have to be reporting all of this on the 8962 to reconcile whether or not you have to pay any back, right? So the advanced premium credit is designed to give you a break, but if you make too much money in the eyes of the IRS, you have to send some of that money back. So in order to reconcile that, you need to complete the 8962. So make sure that's in there. W-2s, EINs we're seeing a problem with, right? So if you e-file, you have to enter your W-2 into the tax software, and you really need to make sure all the information is accurate, right? Name of the employer, the EIN, address, all of the boxes should be populated. We are seeing rejections if the EIN was wrong. So hopefully the EIN on the W-2 is correct. Go back and double check it. If it's right and you input it correctly, talk to your employer, make sure that the EIN was right on the W-2. I mean, I know it sounds ridiculous, but I've seen it happen. Employers issuing W-2s with the wrong EIN on there. So that's a big one. And then dependents is always a problem with e-filing. The Social Security number has to match an SSN in the system. That's number one. And then two, the dependent can't already be claimed, right? And so a lot of parents that aren't filing together because they're separated, very often it's a race to see who files first to claim the dependent. Do not do that, right? You should have an agreement as to who can file and claim the dependent in that current year if you're a divorced or separated couple. The Form 8332 is the release of dependency waiver, right? So if you have an arrangement where you are paying more than half of the child's support, but the child doesn't live with you, so technically you can't claim him as a dependent because you're not the custodial parent, you can get the custodial parent to give you a waiver so you can claim them now, right? So that's done via 8332. So the custodial parent says, hey, look, the child lives with me, but I'm going to waive the ability to claim them as a dependent this year. You can claim them instead, even though you're not the custodial parent. If that's the case, get that 8332 sign and attach it to your return. Okay, so that covers it for this update. I hope that was helpful. I'll try to keep you posted when we get more news from the IRS as far as what's going on, what other issues we're seeing. And yeah, just keep at it. Have a happy tax season. Thanks.